Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking through a couple of my favorite plays on Prizepicks for today's slate for Tuesday, April the 19th. We got another 3-game slate once again for today. I do have 4 plays I'm going to share in this video. We gave out 3 plays on Monday. We'll recap those in a second. We'll recap how those did. But I got 4 plays I like for today. I did take a look at the board. I'm recording this video late Monday night. There's a good amount, that's already up. We're still waiting for like fantasy point projections to be added, but Prizepicks is doing a pretty good job of getting all their player props up early, so I'm able to make these videos early. Get them recorded the night before. Got 4 plays I'll share in this video. We'll kind of talk through why I like these plays. You guys can pick my brain. You can see why I'm on each play. If you agree, feel free to tail. If you don't agree with me, then you don't have to tail. It's up to you. It's your decision. But I always want to give you guys as much analysis, as much information as I can. Really share why I'm on to each play that I'm on. But before we do, start sharing the plays, just hit that like button, guys. I appreciate the likes as always. If you're new to the channel, you have not yet, hit that subscribe button as well. Ever since we started making these Prizepicks videos, we've seen a lot of new faces on the channel. I appreciate all you guys checking out the channel. Hitting that subscribe button really does mean a lot to me. And if you're new to Prizepicks, you want to sign up over there, you can use my promo code Noah. They will match your first deposit up to $100 when you do sign up with my promo code. And again, as always, you can tell the picks I gave in this video. You can make some picks for yourself. If you do want additional plays from me, I do provide those over on Patreon, so you can check out the Patreon if you're interested. It's linked down below in the description. That's always available if you want to get some additional Prizepicks plays from me. But let's go ahead and just kind of talk through things. Again, before we do, we'll recap yesterday. I don't want to recap yesterday because it was the most tilting day of my life. But my God, so we gave out 3 plays Monday. We went 1, 1, and 1 on the 3 plays we gave out. We did hit the over 24.5 PRA for OG Anunoby. He didn't have as many rebounds and assists as I thought he would. I was debating between taking OG's points prop or his assist prop, or his points prop or his PRA. Ultimately, he only had 1 rebound and 3 assists, which was not what I was expecting. I was expecting him to get 6, 7, 8 rebounds, a couple of assists. Didn't get a ton of rebounds or assists, but he had a big scoring game to make up for it. He finished with 26 points. He took 14 shots. So OG did go over his PRA. Gary Trent wound up playing, which is super weird. Gary Trent was doubtful with an illness. He played 10 minutes, and then I think he got sick again, and he didn't return to the game. But that was definitely annoying to see, being on 2 of those Raptors props, and then Gary Trent wound up playing. But OG hit. The one that did not hit was Fred VanVleet points, and my God, man, might be one of the worst beats I've ever had. I've been playing Prizepicks for almost a year. I've had some bad beats before, but the Fred VanVleet one was just so bad. We needed 21 points from Fred VanVleet. We had over 20.5. He had 17 at halftime. He had 17 points at halftime. He needed 4 points in the second half. This dude literally, the entire second half, he does nothing. I mean, he literally couldn't make a shot. He was shooting the ball. It wasn't like he was just standing in the corner. I think he shot the ball 8 times in the second half. He literally did not make a single shot. Finally, with 1:30 left in the fourth quarter, he makes a 3 to give him 20 points. So at that point, I'm watching the game. I'm sweating it out. And I'm like, okay, we need 1 more point from VanVleet. Hopefully he can maybe get fouled, drive, get a layup, whatever it may be. So he makes that 3 to give him 20 points. And then with 30 seconds left, he's got the ball. He drives to the basket, easy layup. And Danny Green blocks the shot. So that was so tilting. I'm watching the game, and I'm like, please just, get fouled, make the layup. No, Danny Green blocks it. They get the ball back. The Raptors get the ball back with 5 seconds left in the game. It's a 15-point game. I mean, it's over. But VanVleet gets the ball on the inbounds pass with 5 seconds left, and I'm, is he going to dribble it out? What is he doing? He grabs it. He shoots it with 3 seconds left, and he fucking misses the 3. So that was just the most tilting beat ever. I mean, VanVleet, literally 17 points at halftime. We need 4 points from him in the second half, and he literally doesn't make any shots until the final minute. He makes a 3, and then he gets a shot blocked. He misses another 3 after that. It was just so tilting, man. I think he shot 1 for 10 in the second half. He literally shot, 7 for 23 for the game. He played 43 minutes like I thought he would. He played huge minutes. He shot the ball a ton. He just had a god-awful shooting game after having a great second half, or after having a great first half. He had a terrible second half. Had a very bad shooting game. It is what it is, man. It's just a bad beat. That was so unfortunate that VanVleet did not hit yesterday. And then the Jalen Brunson assist, we had over 5 assists, and he finished with 5, so he pushed. But I was watching that game as well. I mean, there was so many times late in the game. I think there was 2 times when Brunson had a chance to get an assist. One time he kicked out to Maxi Kleber in the corner, who was wide open for 3, and Maxi Kleber missed it. And then there was another time, I think the possession after that, he kicked it out to Dorian Finney-Smith, who was wide open in the corner, and Dorian Finney-Smith missed a wide open three. So Brunson could have had 2 easy assists late in the game, and both guys missed wide open threes. Look, it is what it is, man. I really felt like I was, the process was right there for Monday's, 3 plays we gave out. We should have went 3-0. We should have had a sweep, but it is what it is. We move on to the next day. I got 4 plays I'm going to share in this video, and let's go ahead and talk through these 4 plays. So I got 3 PRA props I like for today. We actually have an under that we're going to talk about. I don't bet unders that often, but I have an under that I like a lot today. 3 PRA props, and then we have an assist prop that I'm on. So first off, for PRA, over 37.5 PRA for Karl-Anthony Towns is the first play that I like quite a bit. I was on this, I think it was maybe Sunday. I can't remember when they played. I think it was Sunday or Saturday in the game 1 of this series. And, Cat had a big game. He put up 45 points, rebound, assist. He played huge minutes like I thought he would. I expect Towns' minutes to be very, very high in the playoffs. He's a guy that can handle playing really big minutes, and he played 43 minutes in their first game of the series. Now, Naz Reid did get into some foul trouble, which kind of allowed for Cat to get subbed back in a little bit earlier than he normally would have. But 43 minutes was huge for Cat. Had 29 points, 13 rebounds, and 3 assists. I was debating taking points prop or PRA prop. I like both a lot. But I think Cat's one of these guys that is obviously a very good rebounder. He averages around 10 rebounds per game. He can get assists as well. If he gets 25 points, goes over his points prop, I feel pretty confident that he's getting 13 rebounds plus assists. He's probably going to get close to double-digit rebounds. He's probably going to get at least a couple of assists. Really like the over 37.5 PRA for Cat once again. I mean, it treated us well last slate. I like the matchup against Memphis. I think Memphis is going to have a tough time guarding Cat. Like, Triple J's a good defender, but he fouls a lot. Steven Adams is a solid defender, but he's also, a little bit slower, and Cat can really succeed against, traditional fives, guys that are a little bit slower, like Steven Adams. Brandon Clark, I don't really worry about him slowing down Cat at all. So I think the usage, the minutes are going to be there. I feel good about this prop. I think this is definitely too low. I mean, on the season, Cat's been averaging over 37.5 PRA on the season. His per 36 stats, he's averaged over 37.5 points, rebound, assist, over 26 points, 10 rebounds, and almost 4 assists per 36 this year. So that's around 40 PRA. He's averaging per 36. He leads the team in usage. Obviously, the minutes are going to be really high. I'm going to go right back to it. I really like the over 37.5 PRA for Cat. I'm honestly surprised, after he had such a good game last game, I'm honestly surprised they didn't change this line. I thought it would be a little bit higher than what it was, in game 1. But I like going back to it. That's one prop that I'm on for today. And then the second prop that I like quite a bit is over 25.5 PRA for Kyle Lowry. So Kyle Lowry, obviously, last game, lost some minutes due to blowout, and I think that's one thing that's worth noting here. He did come up short of this projection. Last game, he finished with 23. But if you take a look at the rotations last game and you take a look at the game flow, so Lowry was on pace to play huge minutes. He played almost 11 minutes in the first quarter, subbed out with like a minute left. And then in the second quarter, he checks in with about 7 minutes left. So he pretty much played 18 first half minutes, 17, 18 first half minutes. And then the start of the third quarter, he played pretty much the same rotation. He played 11 minutes in the third quarter. He subbed out with about a minute left, but he never played at all in the fourth quarter because it was a blowout. They didn't have to bring the starters back. They were winning by like 25-30. I don't expect Atlanta to get blown out again. I mean, I think Atlanta's a good team. I think they'll be able to make this a series. I think they're going to be able to compete. I mean, Atlanta just played like the worst game I've ever seen. They couldn't get anything going offensively. They literally scored like 12 points the entire first quarter. It was just a terrible game from the Hawks. I think the Hawks will come out here ready to play. I expect this game to stay close. And I think Lowry plays like 36, 37 minutes. And when his minutes are high, like he's been able to go over this PRA. You can take a look at this season, his stats. He's not a very high usage player. He's not a guy that's going to demand the ball and take a ton of shots, but he does a little bit of everything. He'll get some assists. He'll get some rebounds. Per 36 this year, he's averaging 8 assists, almost 5 rebounds per 36 to go along with 14 points. He's kind of like a guard version of Draymond that's just like a little bit of a better scorer. He just does a little bit of everything. He gets points. He gets some rebounds. He'll get some assists. That's why I kind of like taking PRA. If you wanted to take the over on his assist or his points prop, I don't hate that either, but I feel like PRA is just kind of the best just because it combines everything. So that way you're not relying on him to get one specific category. I could see Lowry having a big scoring game and going over PRA that way. I could see him having a big assist game. Maybe he gets 7, 8 rebounds. He's had those kind of games before. That can make him go over his PRA. But I really like this over 25.5 points rebound assist for Kyle Lowry, especially now that we're in the playoffs. I think his minutes are going to be really high. I think he's going to play 36, 38 minutes a night, and per 36, he's averaging over 25.5 PRA this season, or right around that. Again, I think the matchup's good. I think the minutes are going to be good. I like his chances of going over today. So that's definitely another prop that I'm very high on, that I like quite a bit. And then an under that I like a lot. So we kind of talked about here Steven Adams. He's a little bit of a slower 5, traditional center. He's not a guy that's going to match up very well with Karl-Anthony Towns. And I like taking his under 20.5 PRA. So Steven Adams' minutes were kind of cut down a little bit last game. He only played 24 minutes. He was in some foul trouble, and that might have maybe limited him a little bit. Maybe he would have played like 28 minutes if he wasn't in foul trouble. But I don't think he's going to play like huge minutes in the series. I mean, his minutes have already kind of been trending down. Like last 5 games, he's played 31 and then 28, 23, 22, and 24. Now, some of these games were blowouts, but I just don't think in this series they're going to play Steven Adams huge minutes. I mean, they have Triple J that they can play at the 5. Brandon Clark played really well in game 1, so you got to think he's probably earned some additional playing time. Guys that are athletic, that are quick, those are guys that match up better with Towns. So like Triple J, he fouls a lot, but he's a very athletic big, and he also can defend pretty well. Brandon Clark, very athletic big, he's very mobile. I think he's a better matchup for Karl-Anthony Towns. I just don't know if Steven Adams is going to have a ton of success in this series. I might be wrong here. He could play 32 minutes today and go over this projection, but I really feel like if he plays 22, 24 minutes again, it's pretty likely he goes under this. I mean, per 36, like he's not averaging anywhere close to this. Obviously, per 36, he's 36 minutes. He's not playing 36 minutes, but I just think this line's too high, especially in this type of matchup where he's probably not going to be needed. I think they can get away with playing Triple J at the 5 or playing Brandon Clark more minutes. If you actually take a look at the rotation last game, Steven Adams did actually play a good amount in the first quarter. He played almost the entire first quarter. He played about 10 minutes and then he subbed out, but he subbed back in very quickly because Triple J picked up picked up his second foul. So Steven Adams came back in. Then he didn't start the second quarter. He subbed back in the second quarter with about 5 minutes left and pretty much played out those almost the entire second quarter, or those final 5 minutes. So he played about, I want to say maybe 16 first half minutes. So he was on pace for about 32 minutes, but it is worth noting in the second quarter, he picked up 2 fouls. About 5 minutes into the third quarter, he picked up 2 fouls, and I think at that point he had 4 fouls, so they pulled him for foul trouble. He subbed back in the fourth quarter, but he only played 5 minutes in the fourth quarter, and he did not. It's not like he picked up any fouls there. He picked up no fouls. They just decided to pull him for Triple J, and they played Brandon Clark a lot as well. I think in this series we might see Brandon Clark get 26, 28 minutes, which could mean less minutes for Steven Adams. If Triple J doesn't get in foul trouble last game, maybe Steven Adams doesn't play as much as maybe he plays even less. So I could see Steven Adams playing maybe 22 minutes today. If he plays 22 minutes and he goes over his projection, then so be it. It just wasn't meant to be. But I really feel like the minutes for Steven Adams are not going to be super high. And if he doesn't get the minutes, I don't see him going over this PRA projection. So I like taking the under here. It's one I feel pretty good about. I don't take unders that often, but this is one that I do like quite a bit. And it is worth noting, you take a look at actually his numbers this season versus the Timberwolves. So they've played 3 times this year. He has actually gone over this in 1 game, only 1 out of the 3 though. 1 game he played 27 minutes. He had 6 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists. So he had 23 points, rebounds, assists that game. But the other 2 games, he only played 18 and 19 minutes. One of those games, I think he did he only had 2 fouls in both those games. So he wasn't even in foul trouble. He only played 19 and 18 minutes. I mean, I guess I'd have to take a look at the game log, see if what was going on there. But I just don't know if this is a matchup where they need Steven Adams. We kind of talked about that. So I like his under today. I like his under in PRA. I was looking at a lot of his props, and I think this is the one I feel best about, just because if he maybe if he has a big rebounding game, maybe he plays 24 minutes and gets 13 rebounds. Maybe he doesn't get any assists or get any points, and still goes under. So anytime I'm looking for an under and I can find the highest number possible, that's usually what I'm going to take. So I like the under 20.5 PRA for Steven Adams. And then our fourth and final pick, an assist prop. Really like the over 10.5 assists for Chris Paul. I know this line, it's always going to be pretty high. It's normally going to be around 10. Sometimes it'll get to 11. But I think 10.5 is a number I'm worth taking. Obviously, we need 11 assists from him. And he's gotten, 11 assists or more in 3 out of his last 5 games. I think over his last 10 games, I think he's got it in I think he's hit this in 7 out of 10. I might be wrong there. Maybe 6 out of 10. I can't remember. But I mean, the assists are going to be there for Chris Paul. It's just a matter of if his teammates can make shots. I mean, this season leads the team with a 43% assist percentage. He leads the league, or during the regular season, he led the league in potential assists per game averaging almost 20 potential assists per game. And then on the last game when they played in game 1 of the series, he didn't have as many potential assists. He only had 16. But again, he was able to convert that into 10 assists. He convert those 16 potentials into 10 assists. But I think one thing worth noting is that Chris Paul had like a crazy scoring fourth quarter. He kind of pretty much went into like this like aggressive offensive player mode when normally Chris Paul is more of a facilitator, sets guys up. Well, in the fourth quarter, he just went like, give me the ball and let me shoot it. He made like, I think he made like 3 threes in a row in the fourth quarter. I think he scored like 12 or 14 points. I think he only had like 2 assists in the fourth quarter. So, if Chris Paul doesn't get as hot shooting wise like he did in the fourth quarter, maybe he gets that 11th assist. But I think he was looking to be a little bit more aggressive offensively late in that game. Anytime this line is like 10.5, 11, I'm kind of fine taking it, especially when you can get it at 10.5. If it goes up to 11, then maybe I back off because I think at that point I could see Chris Paul finishing with 11, and I don't really like playing for pushes. I like to try and get it to where I can get the hook if I can. Obviously if it's on my side, so I like over 10.5 assists for Chris Paul. He's obviously going to play big minutes. I think the Pelicans are going to be able to keep this game close. They were able to keep the last game close. Chris Paul played like 35 minutes in that game. If they keep it close again, I think we're getting 36 minutes from Chris Paul. And you take a look at this season. Per 36, when he plays 36 minutes on average, he's averaging almost 12 assists per 36. So really like this prop. It's one I've been on a lot this year. It's rarely has it let me down. Normally when I take Chris Paul's assist, it usually comes through. So that's what I'm liking for today, guys. 4 picks for today. Again, if you've been tailing these picks lately, been helping you out, you can again continue to tail. You can tail these 4 plays, but I do also give out free plays or more additional plays, I should say, on Patreon. So if you enjoy the free plays, if they've been helping you out, you've been tailing, you want to get more picks from me, I do provide those over on Patreon. Usually later in the afternoon, a couple hours before the first game starts. So probably around like 4:30 Eastern. I'll post a couple other plays I like for Patreon members. It's usually 3-4 additional plays. And what I do is I take all of my plays for the day. So the 4 plays I give out in this video on YouTube, I'll put those in a group. And then the 3, 4, 5 plays I give out on Patreon, I put those in a group. So usually I have about 7, 8, 9 total plays that I'm on for that day. And I just make all kind of different entries with all of my plays. Didn't have that great of a day on Monday. Again, we went 1 and 1 on the 3 free plays we gave out on YouTube. Patreon plays did not do that well. Only went 1 and 3, but Patreon plays was super tilting. I had Jokic just over in fantasy points. He got ejected. Had Spencer Dinwiddie's over in points, and he shot 6 for 18. Look, it was a tilting day, no doubt, but we're going to bounce back today. Feel good about these 4 plays. Again, I wish you guys the best of luck on the slate if you are tailing. If you have any questions, any comments, you can leave those down below in the comment section. You can follow me on Twitter, hit me up on Twitter. You can answer your questions there, as always, at DFS by Noah. But best of luck tonight, guys. Appreciate you watching the video. Hope you enjoyed. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button before you get out of here. And that's all that I've got for today, guys. Best of luck, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.